Hello everyone, this is the third in the segment of shopping for Pesach logically. And we already established three things. Number one, real chametz that's not edible for a dog's consumption is not considered chametz for Pesach. Number two, because of that, you can own it, namely leave it at home. You can even use it. So, case scenario, you have furniture polish that was made from chametz, you have shampoo that was made from chametz. You can use them. As long as you don't put them in your mouth, you are fine. So from this perspective, when you go shopping, you can shop for furniture polish, hairspray, air freshener, or anything else you don't put in your mouth without a problem. But today we are going to deal with the third leg of this question. So it's not fit for a dog's consumption, but can you actually eat it? At the end of the day, it seems like an impractical question, because why would you eat something repulsive, so repulsive that even a dog doesn't eat it? And the answer is we do this all the time. After all, many of us take medicines either when we're sick or on a regular basis. No one is going to feed their dog a bowl of medicines, and yet, even though it's not fit for a dog's consumption, we put it in our mouth. So can we swallow these pills on Pesach? In a word, is there any validity to those lists that come out before Pesach with all the medicines that are kosher for Pesach versus not kosher for Pesach? We're talking about, of course, medicine that is bitter, medicine that is not fit for a dog's consumption. I'm not talking about very nice, good tasting syrup we give our kids. That needs a Hechsher all year, and that, of course, needs the Hechsher for Pesach. I'm talking about a pill. I'm talking about things that are repulsive for a dog's consumption, and yet we put them in our mouth. So all year long, as I said earlier, there seems to be a machlokes about this. And it all comes back again to a person that makes an oath. The Shulchan Aruch paskins, shvua shelo ochel, I make an oath that I will not eat, the achal afar, and I ate dust. Patur, biblically, you are exempt. Why? Sheino bichlal achila. When you say I'm not going to eat, you mean food. You don't mean food that's not fit for a human's consumption. Again, all year. But yet the Shulchan Aruch also paskins, Amar shvuasho ochel hayom, if I make an oath that I will eat today, the achal afar, and I ate dust, yatsa yedei shvua, deha achshevei achila. After all, if you said you will, and I quote, eat today, and you ate dust, then at the end of the day, the minute you put it in your mouth, atam machshivoto, you make it again food. A second before it went into your mouth, it was repulsive. It wasn't even fit for a human's consumption. It wasn't considered food. But you put it in your mouth, it becomes food. So ultimately, all year long, it's interesting that the Shulchan Aruch paskins, kol hamashkim shel ovdei kochavim shedarkam la'arev behem yayin o chometz asurim. Any beverage in which there is forbidden wine, namely wine touched by a non-Jew that we call stam yenam, you're not allowed to, of course, drink it, even if it's part of a concoction of other beverages. Says the Rama, "V'chose b'mashkim shehayayin v'hachometz hu bahem l'shvach, avalim hu livgam kegon tseva shenatnu bahem chometz shemavashlim ovdei kochavim v'notnim bo yayin odio shel ovdei kochavim." But all this is, of course, talking about edible vinegar made out of wine that was touched by a non-Jew, or edible wine that was touched by a non-Jew. But if it's not edible for a dog's consumption, he brings a machlokas. On the one hand, he says mutar dechol zehav elifgam, and therefore, since it's repulsive, you can basically put it into your food and eat it. Take case scenario, gelatin from a non-kosher animal. Assuming it's not kosher, that's a machlokas, but assuming it's not kosher, it's within something else, it's okay. ויש מחמירים בדיו של עובד גי כוכבים, מפני שלפעמים נותן כול מסול לתוך פיו והדיו עליו. But there are those that are stringent, because sometimes you, as you write with the ink that's in the pen, you put it in your mouth. I'm sure you've seen the pictures of people that, indeed, as they write, they lick the pencil. So sometimes you're going to put into your mouth the ink that was made from this forbidden substance. So a second ago it wasn't food, but you put it in your mouth, atam machshivoto, you made it food again, and therefore it becomes food. You're not allowed to eat it. So this is all year long. What happens on Pesach itself? Namely, you have chametz. It's not edible for a dog's consumption, but you put it in your mouth. A pill made from chametz. Does it become chashuv? Does it become food again by putting it in your mouth? But all of that is all year long. Namely, if you put it in your mouth, do you then re-edibilize it, if I can coin a new English term, and therefore on Pesach it would be considered chametz, edible, and you can't use it? Namely, there's a need for all those lists of medicines and whatnot. Or no, at the bottom line is, when I take the pill, it's bitter, and therefore even putting it in my mouth does not change that reality. We will see that machlokas about Pesach tomorrow.